There's this new article in the Daily Wire. Do they have a huge readership on this?
They do. They have huge. They are known generally as being more conservative, and so Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, and people like that are associated with them. Some of our viewers, that's a negative, but it's going to get massive readership. It's going to get a lot of people who weren't even aware of any of this going, wait, what? And it's sad. It's sad I know from the perspective of some Marilyn Manson fans who do not like the right wing, right? And remember the old days when the right wing was kind of one of Manson's biggest thorns in the side. But the political landscape has shifted.
But that is a huge audience. Huge. I mean, look at the article. Evan Rachel Wood's ex says she inflicted psychological harm on their 7-year-old son during custody dispute. In December 2020, Evan Rachel Wood entered into a custody battle with her ex-partner. Already a good start because it's accurate. And it says initially Bell and Wood split custody of the boy with few issues, as Bell wrote in court documents publicly released last week and reviewed by the Daily Wire. And then it says, but 2 months later, in February of 2021, she made explosive allegations against Marilyn Manson. But this is why I say in this next paragraph, people need to pay more attention to the Tennessee custody documents, because the allegations coincide with the custody dispute. Wood and Bell alternated holidays with Jack, and Christmas of 2020 was supposed to be Bell's time with his son. Now, remember, this child is supposed to be Jewish, for one. And they have this situated for a Christmas holiday, a Christmas visit with his father. But on December 22nd of that year, so this is 2020, Evan did not arrive to return Jack, their son, to Bell for the holidays as agreed. I do want to point out to people who have not read this yet, it even talks about the FBI letter and Ilma Gore's name at the top, and how Jamie received that FBI letter on the Signal app. So this was very good of them to include.
Yeah, I think we should, and we should make sure that people understand, because okay, so not only in this custody dispute, not only did Evan Rachel Wood give a fake letter to Jamie Bell, but a fake FBI letter to try to fool him basically into thinking that the FBI wanted her to run away with their son because she was in danger from Marilyn Manson. But anyway, but before that, preceding that, she had also sent him on a kind of she also sent him on a kind of a wild goose chase, where she gave him this phone number that she said belonged to this FBI agent if he wanted to call and check up on the situation, but it didn't belong to that FBI agent. It belonged to some other woman that they had drawn into this unknowingly. And so then this woman is getting calls and messages, kind of frantic, from Jamie Bell saying, I need some help. I need some guidance. He even called her on Christmas, didn't he? And so you've got all that going on. Well, also, when Evan Rachel Wood, when she sent Jamie Bell this fake FBI letter, it had her girlfriend's name in. She sent it via Signal app or a copy of it, or I don't know, but it had her girlfriend's name, co-conspirator and girlfriend's name, Ilma Gore, originally in the message the first time. And so Jamie Bell, that's what he was saying in these court documents, is basically like, this is strange, because why does it have Ilma Gore's name on it if it's supposed to be from an FBI agent and, from Evan? Like, what's going on here? And so yeah, that's a detail that a lot of people don't know. They might know about the FBI letter. They might even know about the fake phone, the phone calls to the fake agent. But yeah, they even screwed up the the original presentation.
It says, on December 23rd, Wood sent Bell a letter supposedly from law enforcement who were working on the investigation. This is the air quote FBI investigation against Marilyn Manson. It was sent to Bell on the messaging app Signal. It was not on any former letterhead. Bell was also sent an image that the name Ilma Gore at the top, looks like there's a spelling error there. Gore is a graphic artist that Wood dated for more than a year. Wood deleted the post and sent Bell one that didn't have Gore's name at the top. So they couldn't even do this correctly in their whole scheme.
I know.
But it's so great that it details this. It even says, the letter contained a signature from someone who allegedly worked at the Federal Violent Crimes Department, a department he says does not exist. It's amazing to see all this detailed, accurate information in the Daily Wire. A source close to the singer told the Daily Wire that Manson has never threatened Evan or her family. She's never presented any evidence of any threats against her or her family, added the source, who requested anonymity. Manson hasn't had any interaction with Evan in nearly a decade, so kind of the same stuff we've already heard. Evan is looking for someone to blame for her family problems, which, according to court documents, she's actually causing herself.
I love
that.
It's great.
Jinx. Her ex-husband asserted that she caused psychological harm to their young son through prolonged separation. Evan's threat to her own family stability is very real and well documented, unlike the alleged threats she claims to have received from Manson. I just love this article. And it also rehashes the Mother's Day post that Evan did of herself. I don't know if anyone knows about that. But last Mother's Day, Evan put out a post that was highly publicized in the media, basically thanking herself for being such a great mother. Yahoo had a very bad article out, and next thing you know, a few days later, it was updated with very accurate information. So here's the article. Evan Rachel Wood's ex, Jamie Bell, reportedly gets primary custody of son, what we know so far. When this article originally published, it was actually only 4 minutes long, and now it's up to 8 minutes. And a lot of the verbiage has changed. It really calls out Evan, I think, in here if you go through it. And it goes through some of Evan's history of coming forward with her allegations prior to naming Marilyn Manson, in 2018, where she just testified in front of the House Judiciary Subcommittee. I don't know what Marilyn Manson's team is doing, but I think they're really winning here. What do you think?
I think it's definitely a change of strategy and just, more aggressive now. I think that, and this is just my own personal opinion, it's not, information from him or anything, but I think that there was probably a real desire when all this first happened and he was first canceled and all those women came out and stuff. I think that there was a desire to see if he sort of stood back and let things play out and was very calm and patient. And also I think wanted to let the legal process play out in case that was going to work out for him or could help him or save him, and didn't want to mess up anything. It's like, okay, I'm not going to overreact. I'm going to be the patient person. I'm going to be the cool-headed person. It's kind of like that famous poem when everyone else around you is losing your head. Mm-hmm. And so I think that was the strategy. But I think that what has probably happened as of late is that it's like, okay, now that it's been 2 years, I'm not going to give up the rest of my life to this bullshit. Also, some things have changed, like with Johnny Depp. I think that people are starting to see the light more on this stuff, and the legal process is playing out. And it's not really, I'm not trying to be a downer, but it's not really, as we know, playing out very well for Manson. And that's not because he's guilty or whatever. It's because some of these outrageous laws, especially like the new anti-slap laws, they just want to cut off people like him at the knees so that they cannot expose hoaxers and liars. And so I think basically what's probably happened is all of these things, a confluence of things. And he's like, okay, it's time for me to start fighting back. And so I think, assuming that he has some PR people helping him or whatever, I would assume that things are getting more aggressive, and they should.
We saw Manson come out not too long ago. Was it almost 2 weeks ago already, in a very strong way? It looks like maybe he even has new music coming. It's hard to say. And it seemed like a real opening for Evan Rachel Wood to basically fuck up and try to put this PR spin that she, gave up custody of her son to protect him from, threats that don't exist.